Hello and welcome to the NECC League of Legends Finals. How are you all doing tonight? I'm Rome DMV, joined alongside Hawk, and we are in for a treat for sure.
Oh, yes, we are. It's the finals in the Emergence Yellow division between Bryant Bulldogs Black and Johnson and Wales University. It's sure to be an amazing matchup as both these two teams coming into tonight 6-2 after the regular season.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing is, anytime you're sitting here with you got two pretty even teams that meet up in the finals. I mean, we're going to be definitely in for a very, very good match. I mean, listen, we got a best of 5. I think it might even go the distance. Who really knows? I can't wait to find out. I mean, do you have any opinions, any favorites leaning either way coming into this one?
Well, I definitely don't know who to pick, because I've casted a Bryant game so far on NECC, and I do believe that they did end up winning that match, but they lost to JWU when these two teams met in the regular season. Granted, that was all the way back in week 2, so super early on in the season. It was a 2-1 victory for JWU. So you'd have to think Bryant, they're coming in maybe looking for a little bit of revenge.
Yeah, and I mean, let's go ahead and see what they ban out first. He's the Ezreal's going to get on out of there, so a little bit of an ADC ban. Also going to be getting the Vex. See you later. A little bit of a mid lane target ban, and I mean, right now, do you feel like the Vex is more of a target ban or more of a if they pick it, I'm not that comfortable ban?
Definitely a target ban. I'd have to think. While Vex is super strong, particularly in lane, it can push in a lot of control mage matchups. I don't typically think of it as a must ban on red side. I will say I think red side overall is a lot better at drafting right now. I don't think there's any must bans, which does afford red side to go for some of those counter picks. Target bans, and they can get some specialized counter picks for themselves with that R5 position.
All right. Well, already I like what I'm seeing coming out of both sides. I mean, you got the tankiness coming in the Volley Bear, the Zac, also the Ornn coming in on the side of Bryant. I mean, they've got the Kindred to keep them alive in the jungle. Going to be doing a nice job farming. And I mean, the mid lane, it looks like we're going to get the Victor Ari matchup, and that could be spicy for sure.
Definitely. I do want to remind everyone, of course, that this was drafted on DraftFlow beforehand. We are just seeing the client side draft. So this is not the order that the champions were picked. And it is going to be the Ari blue 5 into an R2 Victor. This matchup definitely favors the Ari early on. She should be able to get prio on this Victor, particularly before Hex Core, and potentially even have solo kill pressure. So, as you said, Rum, definitely something to keep our eyes on. However, if we're talking about scaling, Victor in these team fights, laying down the Chaos Storm, the Death Rays to do the damage through this relatively short range JWU composition as we see it rounded out, will be absolutely deadly.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're talking about scaling, I mean, this roster so far and Brian is definitely doing that. I mean, anytime you've got an Ornn, you're definitely looking to take it to late game. So that Vayne is pretty much going to need to just absolutely be a hyper carry right here. I'm not sure the Kindred is really going to be able to come online late game the same way that this Vayne and this Ornn might be able to, but I don't know. I mean, the Kindred might be able to keep them in the game until they get to late game.
Exactly.
And I
Yeah.
think that's got to be their game plan, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Kindred, she doesn't need to be the big damage carry. You've got the Vayne for Walshies, who was the superstar carry last time I saw this team play. You've got the Victor for Mr. Magic Sheep. Your team doesn't need more damage. You just need to keep your team alive. And with this bottom lane Vladimir locked in here for Laladay, I mean, this Kindred can deny so much burst, get so much value on that end of things. So I actually really like this Kindred pick, particularly into a non-punishing jungle matchup in the Zac.
Yeah, and I like the survivability right now out of
Exactly.
JWU. I mean, they've got, the Zac, who obviously, great passive. You got the Zillion, who's going to be able to keep you alive. You come back with, I think, like, what, 40% HP or something like that. So you're good to go, once he revives you. And then you got the Volley Bear, so you're going to be able to set up a lot of these tower dives and things like that. I mean, who really knows what exactly is going to be happening with these rosters? I don't know who really won this draft. I mean, looking at it, it's really going to come down to who's able to play to their composition the strongest, because, I mean, either way, I could see both teams rolling the other. It's just going to be about really starting that snowball off.
I definitely agree. I think when it comes to draft, when I'm looking at JWU, it does have to be early playmaking, though. You've got Zach, who, as I said, not punishing in the jungle 1v1, but very terrifying in a gank setting, especially if we're looking towards that explosive mid lane with the favorable Ahri matchup. If you're able to get a creative gank angle with that elastic slingshot, you could definitely make things happen. But when we look at the scaling, you may see a Vladimir, you may see a Zillion and think, hey, their scaling's pretty good, but this is basically a full magic damage composition up against an Ornn, up against a Nautilus, up against a Kindred that can deny the burst. So I think as the game progresses, Bryant should easily be able to roll their way through the 5-on-5 team fights. But if you're JWU, you've pulled out the Vladimir bot lane. Game number 1, already seeing potentially an unorthodox pick. Maybe, just maybe, they can get ahead and close this one out before that Ornn scaling can come online.
And, I understand not picking an outright ADC on the side of JWU, but, you stated it. They are pretty much all magic.
It's going to be a problem.
Yeah, like if this Nautilus and this Ornn just say, you know what, I'm going magic resist all day long, it is going to be a problem for JWU, and they're not going to be able to have nearly enough damage to deal with the Vayne, the Kindred, the Victor. Good golly almighty. I can already see this definitely turning in Bryant's favor late game. JWU, they better end it early.
And forget the tanks for a second, too. Vayne can feasibly go Wit's End. So can the Kindred. They don't need to go full crit. You can get Banshee's Veil on the Victor super early on for a lot of value up against, or even just the Verdant Barrier, the item that builds into it, because you're against a double magic damage mid-jungle 2v2. So the value of magic resist is just astronomically inflated. Mercury treads as well. There's so many gold-efficient magic resist items. So outside of the Ornn, which is obviously going to be unkillable later on in the game, these squishies are going to be so hard to bring down too, due to their effective itemization. The Kindred ultimate, Locket of the Iron Solari could come through for the Nautilus as well. So there's a lot of defensive tools here for Bryant, and I think in the sustained DPS department, they're just going to roll their way through later on.
Yeah, and I think right now if I had to pick, listen, I said I don't know who won the draft early on. Now I got to go ahead and give it to Bryant. Straight up, I got to say, I think Bryant, they might have won this draft just a little bit more, just because, I feel like that Kindred pick was a perfect one to be able to glue them enough to get to that late game scenario. You normally don't see Kindred games, getting wiped out that early. Normally Kindreds are able to, pretty much bully you early on. You got to worry about them. You don't want them to stack those marks, things like that. And honestly, looking at this, I don't see how Bryant doesn't win this one at the end of the day. If they get the late game, if it goes over 30 minutes, it's almost guaranteed to be Bryant, just because of the magic that's going to be coming out of JWU. I don't think this volley is going to be able to have nearly enough attack damage to really do something. How many times have we seen AP Volibear? So,
yeah, that's a great point.
I don't know, man. I don't know about JWU right now.
Definitely. It's going to be so hard. I do think if there's a chance for them, it's that early playmaking. You have the Volley Baron at the tank matchup. You can go dive that Ornn. And even though putting the Ornn to behind doesn't matter, getting a Volley Bear ahead, maybe if he wants to go for something like a Hullbreaker build, that could be very scary. Later on into the game, you can gank the Victor, set him behind ahead. So there is playmaking potential, but I definitely agree. Bryant, they've got the scaling. Can they get Walshy's Vayne over the hump and into the team fights? We're here on Summoner's Rift.
Oh, man. The start of a wonderful best of 5. You get to see a little bit of trickery going to be coming out already.
Spicy.
This Bryant roster. And listen, they've got a nice composition to do it. Let me just tell you that. And it looks like this Volibear is not going to be... Yeah, you're not even going to need to... Okay, so that's going to be first blood going over to Bryant. And I got to say, in the finals, that's when you need to be paying attention when you're walking out onto the Rift.
Yeah, man, that's really unfortunate. Ho-Ho, unfortunately, just not looking at his screen, thinking he's safe, and they walk in. It is worth noting that CJ did start the E on the Ornn, so early lane going to be a little awkward for this Ornn. But I think you're going to say worth every time. You got first blood for your Kindred, and CJ, Wasting, definitely going to be feeling good about that one.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's on the Kindred. That's just going to be huge. The fact that, the Kindred is the one... the one champ that you're really worried about to really make it to that late game scenario and not really hurt you too much on the way there. And, guess what? Kindred, if they get off to an early start, listen, this could snowball early, let me tell you.
Yeah, Kindred when she gets ahead. You know, I talked about Zach's not a punishing jungle matchup for the Kindred. Well, Kindred can be the punisher in this matchup if she gets enough gold to kill the Zach. Get that early Kraken Slayer online or even a Gale Force if you're feeling aggressive. Start invading that jungle and just fighting for camps, fighting for marks. Can be absolutely deadly. So I definitely agree with you, Rome. Wasting already going to be feeling great about this early game. Now his team, they can go and farm their lanes knowing they're 600 gold in the lead.
Yeah, and I want to see if this bot lane is going to get aggressive. I want to see if Walshy and Ninja are going to be able to, get a little bit more aggressive down there, just because I feel like right now in this situation, they should. I mean, the Vladimir early, I feel like you should punish it. Try to get in as much cheeky damage as you can. Because, I mean, right now this Vladimir and the Zillion are just going to be pushing out this wave. And I mean, I think that the Vayne and Nautilus are going to be feeling great about that, because that could potentially be setting up a gank later. Who knows? We just got to wait and find out.
I definitely agree. I feel like while she's in Fred the Ninja, they're just going to play in the isolated 2v2. And it is an interesting one at that. You know, the Vladimir and the Zillion, they have more poke and they have more sustain in their kits than the Vayne and the Nautilus have early on. But the Vayne and the Nautilus in an outright 2v2 all-in will have the damage advantage due to that lethal tempo stacking up on the Vayne, as well as Nautilus, the burst that he can put out with the CC. So we'll have to keep our eyes on how Fred the Ninja postures in this lane. Look at that. Walking forward, lands the hook.
And he's able to lock down. Yeah, but, at the end of the day, Vladimir's going to do Vladimir things. They're going to be resetting very, very nicely. And I feel like we're going to see that a lot. I mean, if Fred's able to hook anyone, in my opinion, man, you got to go for the Zillion, in my opinion. I feel like that's your best bet.
I agree. Zillion definitely is your best bet, but you can force out a lot of damage onto the Vladimir. It is important to note that, I think like you were getting at, an even trade with Vladimir favors Vladimir because he can heal it back up with those transfusions. He's also got start of 4 pots, Boots, Predator, 4-pot start for Laladay. Has the Ignite as well. He heals on the Zillion, so interesting stuff in the bottom lane. So I agree. Get the damage down on the Zillion. It'll stick more, but if you're able to force out the pool, it does still get you a pretty nice advantage. And more than anything, they're forcing them off the wave. Look at this. While she's in Fred the Ninja, they're stacking up a bit of a minion advantage, getting the Vladimir low. They'll probably be able to crash this one with Kindred on their side and take a base with full control over the bottom lane, get maybe a Vamp Scepter for your Vayne, and you're going to feel great about this bottom.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Walshy is definitely doing a great job putting in some nice poke right now. Looks like Kindred going to be coming in, trying to do something a little bit spicy to Sakura. That's an excellent flash for sure. They're going to be able to get out, stand under tower, stand alive for now. Whew. That was close, man. That was close. They needed that perfect flash.
Definitely a very tense moment. Habiki just choosing the wrong time to go ward. You can't do that when your jungler's not on your side of the map and you're getting pushed in. So ends up with a good flash and is able to bail himself out. Mr. Magic Sheep now. Your threat.
Yeah, he might actually go down. Charm is going to land as well. Magic not going to have the flash to get out of that situation. Going to be dropping. We got ourselves a 1-to-1 game.
Seems that flash was forced in the one-on-one earlier. We didn't see it, but that's absolutely massive. That's the mid gank we were talking about. Unfortunately, the kill does go to Puppy Cat, so it's not going to be getting the RE too far ahead, but a kill is a kill nonetheless, and a 13 CS advantage has opened up.
And I believe at the top, it's flip-flop, correct? I believe it is. It says Bryant's on the left in blue.
Oh, yes. Bryant is on the red side. Bryant is on the red side. JWU is on the blue. I didn't even notice. I had no idea what you were talking about for a second.
I didn't either until I looked up. I saw the cute bulldog, and I was like, wait, the bulldog's not supposed to be on the right, But hey, anyway, we'll get those flipped around real quick for you guys. Not a big deal. But regardless, I mean, I'm looking at this right now. We got ourselves a pretty even game overall. I mean, this roster and JWU were able to answer back with an incredible kill in the mid lane, and now this Ahri is going to be well ahead of this Victor, at least for now. So, I mean, that's exactly what you want in this Ahri versus Victor lane, is your Ahri to really start to dominate.
It is important to note, as you were saying, that's a start. JWU, they're getting ahead somewhere. They're about 300 gold ahead overall. It's a start, but it's not enough. Anytime you're staring down the barrel of massive scaling like this, you always have to ask yourself, how much gold do we need to be able to win the game? 300 gold lead, it's not enough. But if you could start transitioning that mid priority, maybe another gank on mid into a neutral objective, either Herald spawning in a minute and a half or the first dragon, you can rotate that around and start forcing some favorable fights. But as it is, isolated kills, you need more. And Bryant, they're going to be perfectly content to try to just keep farming this one up. They're stacking up the bot wave as the Kindred pats down. So they'll be able to use this triple stacked as it will be wave, crash it under tower, and start dragging themselves.
Yeah, we'll see exactly who's going to be able to get this drag, but it looks like the Ahri is going to be roaming down. So this squad in JWU, I mean, starting to looks like they're starting to fight down here. Yeah, they are, and this is going to be the squad and Bryant going in. This is going to be a 4-on-2 situation. JWU are going to need to get out of here. They are going to be able to escape with their lives, just barely. And I mean, right now, this is definitely not a dragon you want to contest because it is going to be it's going to be a bloodbath to get it.
Absolutely, and that is exactly the type of play that can make you see why Bryant is in this finals. Absolutely beautiful wave management. Their bot lane stacks up the wave while their Kindred was still on the top side. They're just planning ahead for when they get down to the bottom side. The wave crashes. They rotate their bot lane up first into the river, create that 4-on-2, and force the flash. They don't get the dragon at the end of the day, but they maintain their river control, and that's just as important. Now the wave pushes back towards them. Puppycat will make an appearance.
And he is going to be able to go in. He's able to stun up the Nautilus,
Kindred
forcing
6.
out the flash. But yeah,
Ahri's
as
here.
you stated, Kindred able to go big. Passive's going to be coming out. Are they going to be able to finish it off? It looks like yes for now, but no! The Zac is going to be able to live, and they're going to be able to take out the Nautilus. That's going to be huge. Kindred's going to be dropping as well. Extremely unfortunate on the side of Bryant, but very favorable if you're a fan of JWU.
Wow, JWU, they get away with murder on the bottom lane. Puppycat was dead to rights, but Bryant, a misplay on their part. They try to donate the kill to Walshies, but it took too long. We talked about the mid-prio minor dude gets down to the bottom lane, finds 2 kills.
Yeah, and Ho-Ho is going to be able to get the nice tower dive up top onto the Ornn. And oh man, this JWU roster starting to come alive, definitely showing why they deserve to be here in the finals right now. That's going to be a flash coming out from Wasting, and I mean, I don't know if that's going to be worth it. I mean, the Volibear still had his flash up. Are you going to be able to get it? It's going to be a close one. Going to be diving. Still going to be having that ultimate. Going to be popping that. Are you going to be able to get the auto? Yes, you are. And you're going to be able to get out with your life. A perfect play coming in from Wasting.
Wasting chases that kill so deep, but finally finds it. Minor dude going to see if he can find the Kindred.
Ooh.
But I think they've got the recall channel.
Gonna be able to.
He's
No.
Oh, it was close. Minor dude, unfortunately, not able to pick up the return kill, but it is the game exploding in JWU's favor. They're up less than 1,000 gold, but they get that dragon as we talked about. So neutral objectives starting to come online. That's exactly what their team needs. 1 or 2 more of those plays, and you might just see a path to victory in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to see how the supports are going to start to come into play in the late game. Who is this, who is a Zillion going to be able to keep alive in these late fights? Is he just going to be targeting up this Vlad and ulting him, or is he just going to be going on whoever needs it at the moment? That's what I'm really interested in because, I mean, Vlad technically is your AD carry, but is he really going to be your most important person in the team fight?
Definitely. I think so, just because Zillion speed ups, Vladimir running in, he's got the AoE. You're using your Volibear and your Kindred, I think, to sort of bridge you through the mid game. Then Vladimir, 2 or 3 items will start to pop off. But again, to the point we made earlier, the massive amount of magic damage might diminish that.
Yeah,
Here he goes.
that's really what I'm starting to think because, I mean, if they tank up, it could get a little bit crazy. Ooh, a nice play is going to be coming out. Nautilus ult is going to be coming out, and that's going to be stunning up Laladay. He's going to get that ult coming in from Zillion, and this is a lot of damage coming in from the Vayne. Walshy trying to put it a hurting on, but guess what? Laladay is going to be able to flash forward, get the kill, and that's going to be a solid kill, but oh my goodness, in the top lane as well. Looks like Ornn got a little greedy, and I don't know, Puppycat getting very, very greedy right now, especially in all these minions. Ooh, man, is CJ going to be able to win this one? It looks like for now.
Oh.
CJ is not playing around, but look who's trailed on up. Going to be Minor Dude. Going to be coming in, just needs to land the charm. That's going to be able to shut him down. I mean, listen, CJ didn't really stand a chance, really stayed there for a long time, but I mean, I probably would have stayed too if I'm fighting that Zac. There's no reason that Zac had any business fighting that Ornn.
Definitely not. Puppycat barely able to escape and allow Minor Dude to clean up a kill. It ends up being a 2-for-1 in the top lane in favor of JWU and a 1-for-0 in the bottom lane. Walshies I think just disrespecting the Vladimir a little bit. Clearly has not played against this champion very much in the bottom lane, and I don't blame him. Ends up getting taken down, and then we saw the tail end of the fight in top. But at the end of it all, JWU, the early game playmaking has come to fruition. They are ahead in this game.
Yeah, ahead big time. And I mean, right now they've got the Rift Herald in their back pocket. Let's see exactly what lane they're going to be able to drop this in. I mean, they've still got 2 minutes left. Oh, man, but are they going to be able to pick off Wasting? And yes, that is a beautiful pick. My goodness, that is what good warding can do for you. And right now, JWU, they are in the driver's seat of this one. They've still got the Rift in their back pocket. I mean, at this point, they can use it anywhere. And yeah, Walshies might not be living much longer. Yeah, he is going to get taken out. Unfortunate, and Fred is going to be able to get out with his life. But, oh, man, this combination down low in bot, it is absolutely lethal.
This game all of a sudden exploding in favor of JWU right now. It seems like Bryant may be getting a bit flustered, but credit to JWU. They are making plays happen. First, catching out Wasting, and then another 2v2 on the bottom side. These lanes are all of a sudden getting very dire for Bryant, and they win this game if it goes past like 20 minutes, but you cannot be 5,000, 10,000 gold behind when you get there. Currently, they're down 3.5. That is no small advantage.
Yeah, not just that. I mean, they're right now 0-2 when it comes to objectives. And, you know, this next Dragon coming up, I mean, if this goes the way of JWU as well, I mean, this could be a snowball starting to really happen. We said that this squad needs to win early. And, I mean, right here, right now, they're doing exactly that. The Zach is literally all over the map, being a huge problem for this Bryant roster. And now with this bot lane starting to clear out this river, looks like they're going to be setting up nicely for drag. This is exactly what you want to see a team perform like in the finals.
Absolutely. And not only are the kills in favor of JWU, but they also have plates advantages in every single lane. 3 taken in mid, 1 taken in bot, 1 taken in top as well, compared to only 1 in the bottom lane of Bryant. Now, Bryant wisely not opting to contest this dragon. Definitely smart to give this one over. And it will be a Hex-Tech Soul. I think many would argue that that is the strongest soul in the game right now. If you need something to potentially boost your damage going forward, that's one way to do it. Now, Wasting face checking.
Oh, man, Wasting. Are you going to keep on dying for these marks? I mean, should be out, but right now, I mean, listen, this Volibear is very, very hungry. As, oh, my goodness, is this going to be a dead Wasting? Yes, it is. Oh my goodness, and the Volibear not going to be stopping here. Orin's going to need to use the Orn to get on out of this one. Oh, and this one is going to be a nice fight coming in, but guess what? Looks like a stun is going to be coming up. Mr. Magic is going to get taken out as well.
The Orn!
Orn coming in big, isn't going to be able to take out the Volibear, but guess what? Ari's still going to be alive and well. Zachary is going to be in a big 1v1 in the bot lane for a second. Barely going to be living with his life.
He's just
Rift Herald. Yeah, the Rift Herald's going mid from the Zach. I mean, he's going to be able to get that tier 2 as well. Zachary just needs to go ahead and back away. Oh, man. This right now, I don't even know. There's so much going on in the map at one time. We just got to wait for it all to settle down. But after the dust has settled, JWU definitely coming out on top.
Well, Rome, we asked the question, how much do you need to be in a winning position? I think 5,000 gold at 15 is definitely, is definitely a good spot to be in, as just, again, fights all over the map. And Bryant, they seem so scattered. They were very organized early on in this game, but moving towards this mid game, they're just getting pulled around, and it starts with the prio that Miner Dude has in mid over Mr. Magic Sheep. And it seems like the communications have broken down in some of these fights. Wasting, dying with ultimate and flash available to the Volibear. It's plays like that that you cannot afford in this finals.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that the first 2 turrets in the game were both of your middle towers. I mean...
It's rough.
Yeah, that's... Like, it is so rough because now this Victor is just going to have such a hard time farming. Going to need to play extremely safe. They're going to need to ward extremely well around the Victor as well now. Make it that much harder to secure dragons. And it's going to be that much harder to secure, honestly, this first tower for the Bryant roster. They are struggling right here, right now in the finals in this game number 1.
And look at what Miner Dude can do with all that mid prio. He can push the wave all the way up to the inhibitor and just walk down to bot unperturbed. Now, it does mean there's a cross map here on top side. We'll see what they're able to get.
As Ho-Ho is going to need to get
2v3.
on out of this one for sure. The Hornhorn's going to be coming out, going to need to stun him up. Zach's going to be coming in. He's going to be bouncing around, doing a bunch of damage. And is that going to be enough, though? It doesn't look like that's going to be the case whatsoever. Miner dude is able to get one, wasting. Is able to get one. I mean, oh, man. Right now, listen, both of these players, both of these teams are just absolutely putting in work on each side of the map. You got JWU on the bot side getting huge wins, and then on the top side, Bryant are finally able to come up with something. But overall, JWU, I feel like still are coming out on top in these little engagements.
I actually think Bryant maybe come out on top on this one, though. It is 2 separate 3v2s. Bryant,
they didn't get any of the shutdowns, though. They didn't get Ari's or Vlad's. If they would have got one of those, I would have maybe said, okay, it's better for them. But they still haven't shut down either one of them. Like, they've got to shut down Vlad because
they got an objective bounty, though. Ornn is behind. Wait a minute.
Oh,
I think they're
Ari.
out.
Yeah, Ari's going to be able to get out. Really could fight this if they wanted to. They are going to get out safely. Whew.
Yeah, Bryant, critically, they got an objective bounty by getting top tower. So I think it's a worth play for them going even on the trade, but a lot of damage on that bot tier 2. What I will say is getting that bot tower ahead of Dragon is huge for JWU. Now they can fully control Bryant's jungle ahead of the soul point Dragon. I really hope that Bryant just recognizes how hard they outscale in this game and does not try to contest this Dragon, but you never really know here in the NECC. Teams like their Dragons.
If you lose this Hex deck, I mean, realistically, I don't want to say the game's over, but against this team, you got a Vlad that's already ahead. I think we all can attest that is a problem to have a Vlad that's ahead on the map. Even without a Zillion to boost him up, like, my goodness. And so, I don't know, man. I don't know. If this gets, you have to contest this, in my opinion. But as you stated, if you lose this, the game's pretty much signed, sealed, delivered.
The way I see it is if you contest this Dragon, you're guaranteed to lose the game. Unless you get, like, a miracle fight, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, even if JWU gets Soul, I still think your 5-on-5 scaling is so astronomical that you can afford to give over Hextech Soul. It's really the Elder that they need to be careful about. So, that's why I want to maybe see them just give this up. They're at least posturing around it. Maybe even play for mid-prio. You've got an objective bounty on the mid-tower. You don't need to get ace for this Dragon, but they're going to try.
Do it. Do it, Bryant. This is the finals. What have you got to lose other than pride? Let's go ahead and make something happen. You can see. Oh, they're not going to do it. Looks like they're going to give it up. Oh, man. You know, I tried to hype it up. It looked like they were postured, ready to go, but unfortunate. JWU now on Soul Point, and it's a Hextech Soul. This squad is looking very, very scary. I would not want to contest it whatsoever.
Rome, you said, do it, you won't. And Bryant said, you know, you're right, you won't. And they decided not to contest.
Oh, man. Very true. Ask and you shall receive, I guess. And they're going to get the... No, they're not. Okay, I was about to say, there's no way that they get this in time. They're not going to get this in 10 seconds. They don't have enough damage. They don't even have an AD carry. But
that's just big. They're delaying their reset. They could have reset after that Dragon and then started prioing in their lanes. So this actually lets Bryant push out some of their minion waves and reset. It's a minor thing, but it does give a little bit of breathing room, at least, back to Bryant. But don't make the mistake of thinking that Bryant's coming back, because they're not just yet. JWU, still 5,000 gold in the lead. Now, as the game progresses, that 5,000 gold will start to mean less and less. It was 5,000 gold 5 minutes ago. It's still 5,000 gold now. And they do inch closer to Soul. Baron is up now as well. So while the payments can get larger, the scaling also gets closer.
Yeah, I mean, they really just need to keep this one a close game for about 10 more minutes. So they're 2/3 of the way there. Will they be able to keep it up the rest of the way? I mean, I don't know, honestly, realistically.
That's a kill in mid.
Yeah. What happened to Vayne?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that she met the 5-0 Ari. and
now she's 6-0.
Got taken down. Yeah,
I mean, she got Shadow Flame too. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pen. That's a lot of pen.
This is an Ari that's a problem to go against. I think this is an Ari we've all seen in solo queue. It just starts to take over your game, and
definitely
you have a bad day.
And it is a good pick too. You know, Ari doesn't scale very well. I've heard it compared as the Renekton of the mid lane, where she just sort of wins lane and then doesn't really do that much. Otherwise, she's kind of good at team fighting. kind of good at skirmishing, but like not amazing at any of it. And I think that's a lot of times true. But you know, if you're confident in the matchup, you can create a big advantage. Mid priority is so important in modern League of Legends. And I think it's fair to say Mr. Magic Sheep was one of the weaker players for Bryant the last time I saw this team play. So sort of punishing perhaps a bit of a weak laner, giving Miner Dude the matchup that he wants. And I think credit to him taking advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be able to take advantage of, you know, I mean, this is the finals at the end of the day. So, you know, if you see a weak link on another team, you definitely want to not quote unquote bully them, but you know, you want to bully that lane.
Oh, you want to bully them?
I mean, League of Legends terms, yes, but
yeah.
you know, this is still collegiate school. I mean, I want to be careful with the wording, but yeah, it's League of Legends. You don't want to bully the lane too bad, or excuse me, you do want to bully the lane too bad if you notice that you're going to be able to. You see, I just feel so wrong saying it now. I just feel so wrong. Like I feel bad for the laner now. Like I feel bad for Mr. Magic Sheep.
You want to attack the lane.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Yes. Target the lane.
There we go. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Either way, the lane was targeted, and Miner Dude is big at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Fiendish Codex and a stopwatch in inventory. Both the the Vladimir and the Ahri having stopwatches is going to be really important for any future team fight. It just means that, you know, maybe you get caught up by an Orin ultimate or you get caught up by a Nautilus dredge line, you'll be able to stopwatch that one out. And just like that, forcing a flash for basically nothing is Loladay ultimate burned, but that's a way shorter cooldown than the flash.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely is Loladay is going to be
TP.
pulling on out of there.
We're going for it.
Dredgeline's going to be coming in, but is going to be able to go golden with that stopwatch, as you said. Oh, my goodness. Volleybear's going to be coming in hot, but maybe a little bit too hot to handle. Because right now,
Orin in the back.
Miner Dude is able to take out one. As you said, the Orin's going to be able to come in. Volleybear gets taken out as well.
Shield bow.
And right now, Zach is going to be able to come in hot. Puppy Cat going to need to lock this one down. It's currently a sandwich. What are they going to do? It looks like they're going to turn on the top bun in that sandwich, and that is going to be a lost puppy. That is going to be taken out in the jungle. The last one alive is going to be this Ahri. And my goodness, how the turntables.
And just like that, Bryant finds their fight, and they're gonna deny the Hextech Soul as well. It's CJ Santon coming in on the backside with the teleport, basically 1v3 zones out the back line of Bryant. And Loladay, I think, just biting off too much, he was forced to blow all of his defensive tools early on, which meant he was able to be zoned out and focused down as the fight progressed. Bryant, a beautiful fight in their jungle, and just like that, they're back in this game.
Yeah, but are they going to get contested? I mean, they've got the Ahri here.
No Zach.
They hit the charm. No Zach, but they can still fight. They've still got their wills, and yes, Wasting was able to smite that one away, but it looks like they are still going to be wanting the smoke right here, right now. Fred gonna need to get on out of here extremely low. Kindred is gonna go down. Volleybear drops as well, but my goodness, they are able to shut down the Ahri finally, and that's gonna be massive for this roster. Is Vlad gonna be able to get out? It doesn't look like it. He's gonna be pulling away, but not able to survive. No, finally gonna be dropped, and that's another big kill coming in for this roster. Bryant have turned this game around in about a minute and a half.
And it's JWU. They couldn't handle their defeat in the jungle, so they go back to Dragon, but it's a 4v5.
Oh, my goodness.
I think. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, Puppy Cat.
Wait, Puppy Cat is looking like a whole Rottweiler out here. Oh, my goodness, what is going on? Able to go in and get two in the 1v3 situation. And, yeah, Zillion just need to run away. I don't know. In those situations where your teammate is literally doing God's work for your team, you just sometimes just need to let it happen.
Wow. Yeah, Puppy Cat. Okay. Gets two back. But, I mean, the gold, it was 5,000, we were saying. Now it's only 1,000. Ornaments have come through. CJ putting that upgraded shield bow on the Bane, as well as the upgraded Kraken Slayer on the Kindred. And Bryant, I think they're here. The denial of the soul was the straw that broke the camel's back. The scaling is here. The Vayne is online. And in this game number one, Bryant should be able to close this one out after a tumultuous mid-game.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could say you're wrong, but I mean, this is literally the game that we talked about. Is if they can make it too late game, then they're going to be good to go, and it looks like they should be poised to do that. I mean, this next dragon, 3 minutes down the line. I mean, this one, if it does go the way of JWU, they're going to have a really, really good chance to win the game just because of that soul. But I mean, Bryant overall are just playing a great game. Oh my goodness, what is Puppy doing? Puppy going to go in on this? Doesn't look like it.
CJ, though, does have a tower still to retreat to. That top lane tier 1 standing pretty firm, and Ho-Ho not really doing a whole lot to the Zorn.
Yeah, Ho-Ho is going to go in, though. Is going to be stunning out CJ.
Holy Bear ultimate. Excuse me.
That's going to be a huge one coming in. Oh my goodness, what an Ornhorn. That's going to be knocking up a couple of players. So much sustain going to be coming out.
They got Walshies.
Finally, they are able to get Walshies, and that's going to be a huge pick. Oh my goodness, Volley Bear's going to be dropping as well. Now this little skirmish down here, this one's going to be huge. The Volley Bear, oh my goodness. No, the Ornn finally gets taken out by the Ahri, and I mean, the Zac still going big. Puppy Cat is still going big for this roster in JWU. It seems like every single time in these skirmishes, Puppy Cat's the one really making it worth something for this JWU roster.
Zac is doing so much, I agree. I mean, he was the one, I believe, that got the kill on Walshies. I think actually wasting, maybe should have let himself die. The Lamb's Respite kept the tanks of JWU alive for so long. So even though the Kindred didn't die immediately, I think Walshies might have just cleaned that fight if you don't throw that one down. But either way, it ends up being a 3 for 2. JWU, they're going to take the top lane tier 1. So not too much coming off the back of this play, but it is a 1 fight for JWU nonetheless. So in the 5-on-5, they do at least still stand a chance, but Vayne doesn't have that Ginsu's yet, which is a big portion of her damage. She's got that wit's end that we talked about in draft.
Yeah, Puppy did need to use his flash right there to get out of that situation. Fred's going to be hunting, but guess what? Just going to get that blue buff and play it safe, not sorry. And we've got a minute left on this dragon. Now, I got to ask you, if this dragon goes the way of JWU, do you see this roster and Bryant being able to still win this game even without that soul on their side? Do you really think that they'll be able to?
I think that JWU will definitely be in a good spot if they get the soul, but I think that Bryant is still my favorite. I think their scaling is just too scary. Now, I will say, if JWU can find another fight in a choke point like we just saw, where, you know, no matter how much magic damage you have, Vladimir, a Zac, an Ahri, a Zilean, and a Volibear are going to do a ton of AoE damage. So if you can fight in a choke with the Hextech Soul, yeah, I think your chance to win is actually pretty good. But in a straight-up 5-on-5 team fight in something like the River, that's where it gets scary for this JWU roster. And I think Bryant now, Walshi's 3 items, has the Ginsu's. I think this is where they should shine. Now, vision control is in favor of JWU. Ahri's on the side around the blue buff. Look for the flank.
Ooh, and yes, this is going to be a big one coming in from Ahri. Landed the charm. Victor's out of here. See you later. Back to the lobby. Vladimir's going to be dropping as well. That's going to be huge. Picks coming out. Volibear's going to be dropping. Another massive kill coming out as Bryant trying to lock him down. Miner is going to be dropping, and that's going to be 3 down. Bryant, they have turned the tides yet again. They're going to be getting their second drag of the game, and they have just absolutely flipped this one around. And yes, I finally agree with you. They're in the lead for this one.
And they're going to get the Baron too. Bryant, it doesn't matter if they lose 1 carry because they got 2 more. Miner Dude comes on the flank and picks the Victor. But in a spread out fight like that, the single target damage of Bryant shines through. And they manage to take the fight 4 for 1. It doesn't even matter that they're still behind in gold because they're not going to be after they're wearing purple.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so now I got to ask you, if you are this squad in JWU, let's be, positive for them. How do you come back into this game?
Well, you got to find a fight and a choke. It's the same as it was before. The scaling's already here for Bryant, so, I don't think fighting in the River is ever going to work. You just got to find a pick. You've got the Zac to try to find insane engages. You got the Zilean to try to speed up the Volibear to find insane engages. And if not, bait Bryant into fighting you in a choke point. If you can get on top of that Vayne, if you can get on top of that Victor, if you can kill 2 of the carries, you might just have a chance to win. The problem is if you're only able to kill 1, it gets a little difficult.
Yeah, difficult to say the least. And I mean, right now, looking at this, they've only gotten 2 towers. That is That is insane. The fact that Bryant have only gotten 2 towers. They're going to be getting so much gold right here off this Baron push. And it looks like they're just going to be walking it down the mid as a unit, essentially saying, come stop us. Because, let's be real, I don't know if this team can stop them anymore. I mean, the Ornn is massive. You have the Nautilus backing him up. You got the Kindred that can absolutely save everyone in that circle. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this roster is just starting to really come online, and that's exactly what we talked about earlier.
It really is, and, you know, it's insane that they had only taken 2 towers already as maybe a fight on the bottom side, but maybe not. Team's just going to stare at each other angrily, but, you know, they had only taken 2 towers before, which is crazy, but it just means that there's all the more gold for them to pick up now with this Baron push. They get the bot tier 1. They have their ADC pushing on the top side. I actually think they're playing a little conservatively here, but not wanting to opt in into a 4v5 team fight when Walshi's pushing up here on the top side.
Yeah, and I mean, with Walshi pressing the issue. Wow, gonna back. Interesting. I mean, might as well, right? About to get pinched. And I guess that is the good play. See, this is why they're in finals and I'm not. I would, man, you gotta stop me.
Say, I dare you to come and get me. I will say, that is a very conservative recall. I actually would have liked to see Walshi's push out that top wave and then rotate around the mid with his team here, because then you could use your Baron to start hitting in towards his mid turret. I think Bryant, they're not syncing up their waves very well, and they're not getting as much time in these towers as I think they should be with this Baron, but at the end of the day, it's not going to matter. You've got the scaling advantage. It doesn't matter how quickly you close out the game, as long as you don't do something stupid and get your AD carry picked in the top side like that. So, you know, conservative is always, you know, better at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it right now, and I mean, they've got all the jungle control. The Ornn is going to be coming out.
Big
That's
Ornn
going to be huge. Oh, man, the Ornn. That's a massive one. That's exactly what you're going to be looking for if you're the side of Bryant. Now, the question is, are you going to be able to have enough damage to lock it down?
Coming around the back.
Oh, man, is Kindred going to be able to get out? It doesn't look like it. Finally are. Lots of flashes being burned. Good golly almighty. Finally, Mr. Magic Sheep is going to be dropping at the hands of the Volley Bear. The Volley Bear is still going to town. Not going to be stopping anytime soon. Nautilus and Fred the Ninja trying to lock down this Volley Bear. Finally going to be able to. And I mean, all these players are so low right now. Is Walsh going to be able to pop off? Is able to get one and does get charmed, though. And the Ahri going to be locking him down. And I mean, woof, man, they are just going back and forth. Holiday now is going to need to go golden to stay alive. Is going to get taken out eventually. Ornn barely going to be living with a sliver of health. Oh, my goodness. This is madness.
What an insanely messy fight again. The Vayne comes in on the flank on the backside, but then chases towards the Ahri under tower instead of going after the front line. It's a 4 for 2, something like that in favor of Bryant. They're still ahead. They're still winning, but they're just trying to get as many kills, I think, in this game before it ends.
I mean, I wouldn't really blame them at this point. I mean, listen, they're putting on a very clean performance. As long as they're able to get this dragon, tie these dragons up at 3 apiece, you know, get on that soul point. I think this squad is going to be feeling very, very solid. I'm just so surprised that they're able to blow up the Victor so early in these fights, and they're still losing them so severely. That is telling.
It is. It really is. And it's just the Kindred in the Vayne. Again, so much damage. Oh, speaking of Kindred.
Kindred is almost going to go down, but is going to be able to use that ultimate to stay alive for now. And going to be hopping out, so I think Kindred's going to be good to go. Maybe this was a little bit of a bait coming in, but that's going to be a huge dragon coming in. And oh, man, what a knock-up coming out. And oh, Miner Dude going to be dropping, and that is major. The fact that the Ahri's dropping, I mean, I think Bryant's going to press the issue right now.
Definitely, you've got the biggest wave clear down, as well as the most fed member on the enemy team. Ho-Ho and Hibiki, they're too low. They have to back. You can push up mid, at least try to crack the inhibitor. But no, they're sending their Vayne bottom. Why? You've got a 4v5 in the mid lane.
I mean, I guess they're just trying to play quote-unquote right. They're trying to, split up, press all the waves, cross their T's, dot their I's, and I mean, who knows? Maybe they're just trying to take a page out of the best that they've been watching. You learn from the LCS, the LCK, the LPL, and maybe they're trying to just implement that here. But they're gonna need to implement the team fighting skill right now if they want to lock down Puppey. Oh man, what a beautiful hook coming out from Fred. Is that gonna be enough to lock down the Puppey? For now, doesn't look like that's gonna be the case. as Mr. Magic Sheep is going to need to go golden there. Not sure if that was the best timing of it, but, I mean, regardless, little skirmishes coming out either way. 25-25, tie game 3-3. But by far, scoreline is not tied. I mean, listen, we got to talk about it. 6,000 gold lead coming in right now for Bryant. Oh, no, the Charmed missed. Anytime you miss a charm on a Vayne, it's going to lead to destruction. It's going to lead to disaster. But it looks like they're not going to be dying for now, as the Vayne is going to be putting in a lot of damage. But is it going to be enough? Oh, my goodness. No way the Vayne's going to live through this. And that's going to be huge coming out. Oh, man, they do shut down the Kindred. And that is huge. That could be the turn that JWU needed out of all of this madness that's been going down.
I mean, Bryant is making very interesting lane assignment plays. They're just, it feels like they're not talking about where they're sending their members, and 2 huge kills go down. Now they can fight 5v3 in front of the Baron.
And that's going to be a huge Orin ultimate going to be coming out, and Victor's going to be dropping. That's going to be Sakura dropping as well. And yeah, this is going to be all she wrote. JWU are locking this up like nobody's business. And that's going to be a triple kill coming out. We talked about the damage. It looks like the likes of Ho-Ho are going to be having a lot of it to boot. And I mean, JWU just turned this game right back on its head. I mean, listen, I don't know what to expect anymore. These teams are going back and forth. I don't even know, man. They both want it bad.
JWU has at least bought themselves a new lease on life. Bryant just, I'm amazed that was able to happen, but they should still be okay. I think their composition's too strong, even with the Baron. But JWU, now with the Baron, they've got pushing power. If you can find another pick like that, you can just end the game with the Baron. The death timers are getting so long, nearly 40 minutes into the game. So it doesn't matter how scaled the opposing team is. If they continue to make mistakes like that, it only takes one at this point to potentially end the game.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much at the 40-minute mark. So, I mean, you get team wiped one way or the other, you might be looking at a GG's more likely than not, depending on how exactly coordinated, the team is. It's going to be doing the wiping. So, I'm interested to see who's going to be able to come out on top. I mean, it seems so far that every time that Bryant have found, an engagement that they're comfortable with, they've been good to go. But times that they've been caught off guard by JWU, it's ended up going in their favor. So, I mean, really just definitely a back and forth game right here.
It is definitely a back and forth game. Now, soul point for both teams. In a minute, it will be Hextexel for one or the other, which means that this team fight could maybe be the one that decides it. I feel like we've had 10 of those now. This game, there have been 56 kills in a 40-minute game between these two teams. It has been a bloodbath on Summoner's Rift, and it's only game 1, but eventually someone will have to take an insurmountable advantage. And that could be this soul fight.
I mean, I don't see how it isn't. I mean, listen, both of these teams are going to be going for it. But the 3 Hex decks coming out of Bryant, that is going to be a monster to deal with. As well as all these ornaments that have come. Oh, no, they're caught. Oh, no. And not Loladay. Are you going to get out? It doesn't look like it. Going to need to ult. Going to need to go golden.
Ultimate.
Yeah, they are able to get that at least. They're going to be going in. Can they turn this one on their heads? While she's going to be living for now. Oh, man, but that's going to be Nautilus dropping, and that's going to be huge yet again. JWU, if they turn this one around, Orn is going to be able to pick up one. Right here, this next kill is going to be huge coming out. Nobody's going to be able to lock it down, though, regardless. Oh, my goodness.
CJ can't kill Loladay. There's no healing reduction outside of the Executioners on the Kindred. The 2 big carries, one of the big carries, Walshies, is down. Fred the Ninja as well. CJ, though, still tanky. He's got the Warmogs to try to sustain.
I mean, right now, got to go in and got to do it now. That drag is getting so low. That's huge. Oh, my goodness. That's going to be massive, as Wasting is going to be able to get that. And now Bryant, I mean, with this Hextech Soul, who knows what they can do right here, right now. So, man, are they going to be able to take out Wasting? It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Another Orn going to be coming in. Puppey going to try to dip on out of this situation. And, yeah, I mean, finally they are able to take out Sakura. My goodness. Oh, my goodness. Non-stop action is Puppey. He's going to need to stay alive for now. Is Holiday going to be able to keep him up? Looks like the answer is yes, but no. Finally going to be dropping again. Holiday drops 2, and oh my goodness, Bryant have just answered right on back after getting the dragon. The only player up is going to be Ho-Ho in this volley bear. So, I mean, great stuff coming out of Bryant overall.
I'm pretty sure I saw that dragon get to 8 HP roam. I don't think either jungler smited it, but Wasting was the one to get it. And that Hextech Soul in the extended fight ends up being the difference. Now, 2v5 in the base. You'd have to think that this is the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking it's definitely something, but the way that this
Backing
team...
off.
Yeah, that's why I was going to say it's definitely something, because they the way they've been playing, I don't know, they're playing very, very smart, very cut and dry, if you will. And, you know, not taking too many risks, too many chances, but that's honestly the way you need to play.
I mean, like I said, when you're playing a composition like this, the only thing that matters is that you don't throw, because you'll always win in a 5-on-5. That's the assumption that you make. So, you know, playing conservatively is not the wrong answer. It's definitely not the best answer. I think Bryant has been a little too conservative in this game, but I cannot fault them for it. Game 1 in the grand finals, you do not want to start off with the loss. CJ does not want to start off by getting caught.
Yeah, but I mean, right now, looks like CJ is definitely going to be able to get out of this situation.
He is so tanky.
Yeah, I mean, the front lines of both of these teams, so tanky. Dornhorn going to be coming out. Oh, that's going to be a great hook, as you stated, coming out onto Ho-Ho. And I mean, right now, are they going to be able to chase down Puppy Cat? They've already got a Ho-Ho. Finally, we're able to take him out.
2.
And they get Puppy. This would be absolutely huge. It doesn't look like that's the case right now. Looks like Puppy's going to be able to get out with his life. My goodness.
They're going to get the Ahri as well. That might be it.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, the Ahri stopping there kind of signed, sealed, and delivered it. I mean, 44 minutes. It's looking like it's definitely JWU that are going to be falling at the hands of Bryant. I mean, Bryant, they fought back tooth and nail. And at the end of the day, I mean, 35-34, we got to see 70 kills. 70 kills, Hawk, in the first game of finals.
I mean, what an absolutely absurd game. 44 minutes later, Bryant, they finally take the win in game 1. We've still got at least 2 more left for you guys, but man, the scaling, it came online at like 25 minutes. It took them another 20 to get there, but they eventually did it.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, listen, this roster, they are showing resilience. The fact that they were able to come back in the way they did, you know, they were down by, like, I believe 8 kills at one point. It was like 12-4. Like, they were down by so many and were able to just claw back, get it back even, and end up coming out victorious. And as you stated, I mean, listen, it's a best of 5. You only got to win 2 more now. So, I mean, this squad, they're definitely going to be feeling very, very good about this situation overall. And, I mean, hey, listen, we just got to see what game 2 is going to have in store for us.
Absolutely. It's going to be a good one. And, you know, JWU, I think it comes down to you just got to change things up in draft. While the Vladimir was scary, I think the full magic damage comp was really the bane of your existence. If you had a more conventional AD carry, I think it would have made a huge difference for that squad. But either way, we'll be back in just a few minutes for game number 2.
Hello and welcome back to the NECC Finals. We are here. I'm Rome DMV, joined alongside the wonderful Hawk. And I mean, listen, that first game, it was back and forth and back and forth, and finally it went back the way of Bryant.
Yeah, man, that game was like watching one of those Newton's cradles. The balls hitting each other the entire time. But as said, Bryant, they managed to take it. And now going into this second game, JWU, they're on the red side. How do you adapt?
I don't know. I mean, don't pick an all AP comp. I think that's
It's a good start.
yeah, that's definitely the first start. I mean, I want to see what's going to be different in these bands. What's it going to end up making it there? What are these teams going to essentially say, you know what? It was too big of a problem last game. And what are your biggest, like, what do you feel is were the biggest problems last game on the map?
So I feel like big problems were the Ornn
Yep.
for the side of CJ on Bryant. That pick was absurd. It was counter picked last game with the volley bear. It not only didn't lose to the volley bear, it actually kind of beat the volley bear and ended up a huge menace as the game progressed. So I think getting rid of that would definitely be smart on the side of JWU. They do leave it up for the first phase of bans as we see the top lane's locked in. It is going to be Kennen into Shen. It was a blind pick Kennen coming through from CJ. So off the tank and now onto a carry.
Yeah, and I mean, I like the Shin. I'm gonna be honest. Out of everything, the way these two teams have been playing so far, I like the Shin because that Shin is gonna get somebody out of a lot of sticky situations. We just gotta wait and see exactly who they're gonna choose to be that carry on this team in JWU. But I mean, the Kennen definitely not a bad choice whatsoever as well. We just got to see exactly what they're gonna surround it with because anytime a Kennen goes in, I mean, anytime McKinnon goes in, I mean, let's be real. It's gonna be a situation where you need some champs that are gonna be able to back up and really commit to the fight and really go all out. So let's just go ahead and see. As looks like we're gonna be restarting that real quick, and then we're gonna be good to go.
Yeah, seems like Puppy Cat couldn't lock in the Zac. It is going to be back to the Zac. And, you know, if you want to talk about problems in favor of JWU, I like the Zac from Puppy Cat. I thought he played it really nicely, did a lot of damage. It was also very tanky, and I don't think that Bryant dealt with it the best. So I like seeing him go back to the champion. But, you know, to your point about Kennen, yeah, squishy backline, like we will see come through later. They have to respect the Kennen because that thing, when it comes flying in, can just delete your team if you're not prepared.
Yeah, it's really going to be all about the positioning, and I mean, the Kennen and the Zac are essentially going to be trying to do the exact same thing. They're going to be trying to catch people off guard, and I mean, I don't know. Like that's the thing is that they have a get out of jail free card with the Shin, so maybe this Kennen might. But that's the thing is that the Kennen, the slicing maelstrom, just does so much so quickly. Maybe the Shin might not be able to react in time. I don't know. This is a spicy couple compositions so far we've gotten out of both of these teams.
And what I'll say is, you know, you can use Stand United on your backline to deny the Kennen engage, but then if your Shen is going into your own backline to stop Kennen, who's stopping Jinx? Oh, well, spoiler. Jinx is going to come through soon. That becomes a problem then, because as the Jinx maybe picks up a reset on your Zac, who's all of a sudden diving the enemy backline alone. The Shen doesn't have that Spirit's Refuge to sort of counter some of those autos to slow her down, to force her to kite. And if Walshies gets going, it could just crush a team fight.
Yeah, I mean, most definitely. And, you know, we did see the Kindred ban come out as well as the Ornn, as well as the Vladimir. So all three of those are going to be gone and away. And, I mean, I understand why. You know, out of all the champs that were in the last game, those three were definitely a problem on the map. And I mean, the Ornn and the Kindred, I definitely see for a reason to getting out with this composition, because when you're going Twitch Zeri, that is spicy to say the least.
So I think this is really interesting. JWU actually banned their own Vladimir away. Remember, it was Loladay that played that last game. As do apologize, we are having some issues with the draft, but we'll be underway pretty soon. So, you know, JWU, they're removing a champion of their own. I personally don't think Vladimir's pick banned. Clearly, this team does. Maybe they think it's a denial away from somebody on Bryant, but regardless, definitely an interesting ban at that.
Yeah, I mean, big time. We just got to wait and see exactly what's going to happen. But it seems like one of the players' PCs did crash. So listen, we will be taking a very, very short break, and we will be getting right back into the action when we come back from this very short break. Hello and welcome back to the NECC League of Legends Finals. We've got Bryant currently up 1-0 in this best of 5 for it all the pride, all the glory. I'm Rome DMV, joined alongside Hawk. How you doing?
I am doing great. No more PC crashes, fortunately. A little bit of tearing on the stream, but that should resolve itself in due time. And Bryant, once again, they are 5 stacking with the Nautilus, this time on the bottom side.
Yeah, and I mean, they are definitely going to be moving as a squad, as a unit to try to find this first pick yet again. I mean, they were successful the first time. Oh, man, if they ward this right, this should be good to go. If they can land this hook, oh, yeah, flashed out. That's the smart play, honestly, because if that gets warded, it's over for you.
Definitely is the smart play. Forced to flash, that is going to be huge for the early lane because, you know, if we want to talk about expectations that we have for this game, Rome, well, bot lane is volatile. A Twitch Seraphine up against a Nautilus. That Nautilus that becomes all the more volatile, as I do believe we're just having a few issues with the stream. We should be back momentarily.
Yep, and very momentarily, but right now, you know, this is what happens when you're inside of Tom Kinch's mouth. You know, sometimes it gets really, really gray, and you know, we're just gonna hang out here. You know, I don't know where Tom Kinch came from. He came in the studio, decided to gobble us all up, and took the game along with it. So, not exactly what happened, but we are gonna be correcting everything here for you all shortly and getting right back into the series.
Yeah, man. I don't know what in Tom Kench's mouth, but hey, I guess now we all know. Educational stream as well. You know, we don't just cast esports.
Right. We teach along the way, you know, in case you didn't know. You know, now you do. You know, we all wanted that experience once, and you know, now we can finally all get it together. So, you know, once we get word on what exactly is going on, then we will be good to go. Just trying to figure out if we're gonna be back into this game or if we're gonna need to reset the lobby again. I'm sure we'll find out pretty soon from our producers. But I mean, regardless, I mean, coming out the Zeri mid, I must say that's an interesting pick.
Yeah, the Zeri mid is interesting, especially because Zeri has been nerfed multiple times since release. She's not the same menace that she once was. And up against a Veigar, her short range could be scary, but I will say, actually, no, the Veigar was counterpicked into it. It was a R1 Zeri, so it was clearly picked as a flex, but Bryant not caring about the flex because it's a Nautilus in the bottom lane, traditional counter into the Zeri, so now it sort of put the Zeri in an awkward spot. I think Veigar's weak early game will mean that Zeri is able to get some early priority with her spammable Q, but as the game progresses, there will hit a point where Veigar can press the outplay button on his keyboard and kill the Zeri.
All right. Well, I mean, as you stated, I mean, the Veigar can definitely, you know, start to scale on up, you know, get to that